Hey guys, David here, and today I'm going to show you an automation that qualifies leads for you. Not only does it qualify the leads, but it assigns a lead score and categorizes them back into your CRM. And if you want to add an additional pipeline, that's what I'm going to be doing in this demonstration. So it categorizes them, gives them a lead score, and then puts them back into your CRM pipeline depending on the lead score. It's a fairly simple automation, and I find it extremely valuable for anybody that's managing projects or leads or just likes to be real organized. The CRM that we're going to be using today is GoHighLevel. And while I don't think this CRM is very flexible, I find this tutorial will have a lot of value for those using GoHighLevel because there aren't many videos that show you how to integrate GoHighLevel with make.com. So that's another bonus for you. And let's just get right into it. The form that we're going to be dealing with is a GoHighLevel form, but you can have this integrate with your Facebook lead form or anything of the sort. And so we're just going to pretend that this automation is for a marketing agency. And so this is the opt-in form. Obviously it's beautiful, not really, but it's good enough for the demonstration. So you're going to have the client's name, business type, main challenge, and if they've tried other agencies in the past, the marketing budget, and then if they're payment ready. Now, all these questions are important because AI is going to assess the lead score of the lead based off these questions. So for example, the tried previous marketing solutions, if the lead has gone with another agency, they would answer yes, and they would receive a lower score for that answer because of the fact that they probably had a negative experience, hence why they're looking for a new marketing agency. Another example is the payment ready question. If a lead says yes, let's go, that automatically is going to grant them 50 points out of 100 because that just holds so much value there. The fact that they're ready to move forward, whether their budget is low or high. I mean, depending on what parameters you want to have, if the lead is ready to go, they're ready to pay you, then obviously you want to make sure that the point system that you design makes sense. Because if you have somebody that, says, yes, let's go, and maybe their budget is on the lower side, maybe it's only like what, 1 to 5K. I mean, depending on the price or the tiers or packaging that you have, I mean, that might be good enough for you, but that doesn't mean that you should value the yes, let's go or ready now answer at 20 points. You know what I mean? Like, I hope you're catching my drift here. So anyway, do spend some time with ChatGPT designing your point system. And let me go back to the automation and just show you how it works. So that's the form. The automation's already running. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to do it manually here. So it's running right now. Excuse me. And then we'll just do YouTube demo, business type, e-commerce, challenge, no leads. Or I guess in this case, no sales. And then we're going to put no, and then we'll put a low budget, payment ready soon, few weeks. Let's see what happens. Press yes. Cool. So automation's going. And as you can see, I have some Google Sheets here. So not only is this valuable for people that are like looking to be hands off when qualifying their leads, but you can also assign a sales rep and not necessarily grant them access into your CRM in case there's like sensitive info there. You could just provide this Google Sheets for them as well. So here's where we're at. Oops. So yeah, we have YouTube demo, low budget, soon, few weeks, and then they got a lead score of 45. So the reason being is because they're not ready right away and the budget's kind of low, and they were marked not in the pipeline. So let me refresh this. Okay. So they should be in the cold pipeline. Let me see what happened here. Status code 404. Interesting. 1 second. So I just for the sake of this demo, I added these tags. They should work. I don't know why they aren't working. So we have cold lead there. We go back here. Tags, cold lead. Yeah, that works. Let me just run this again. Let me see. There we go. So it does work. It just needed time to update there. Yeah, so let me show you the template for the Google Sheet. Now you can make this as complex or simple as you'd like, but we have the name, their budget, if they're ready or not. We should probably add their business industry, but this is just just so you can get an idea of what's going on. The lead score, priority level. So this is the categories. And then I even had AI put in their notes here. And you could probably leverage this so that AI gives you maybe some more ideas as to what you should do, or maybe can give you a description on their business, or whatever it is you wanted to do. And then the lead status. So this will be marking whether it's gone in the pipeline or not. So this only gets updated after it gets tagged in GoHighLevel. And for those of you that do have GoHighLevel, you know that once you tag a contact, you are capable of putting an automation within GoHighLevel that puts them in a pipeline, depending on what tag they get tagged for. Wow, words are difficult today. So let's build it. Actually, let's do one more. I'm going to hit run once, and then let me show you what happens when you submit a form that maybe is like a higher quality lead. So I'm going to do Ace Ventura. Main challenge is no leads. And that's another thing too, is I didn't even correlate the main challenge into the AI analysis. That's like another thing you could do too. I find that anytime you're incorporating AI, like prompting is just the number one thing. Prompting can take an automation from like 3-star to 5 stars, like very, very easily. So it's highly, highly recommended that you always spend time prompting. I can't stress that enough. Just refine it, refine it, refine it. And my recommendation is taking the final output, even though the initial prompt might not have any direct correlation to the output. Maybe there's like a proxy or a couple of steps before the final output. It still helps to gather data of the final output, present it to ChatGPT or Claude and say, hey, even though this, you don't have a direct tie, I want you to observe these final outputs. And then this was the prompt that we used for this final output. And then you're going to take some good data, some good outputs, do the same thing, provide it to Claude or ChatGPT and say, hey, this is the good outputs, and these are the prompts that you did. What can we do different? So that's just a little gem there. I'll put no marketing budget, and then we'll say, yes, they're payment ready. So we submitted that new form. You can see the automation working here. And then we have Ace Ventura, and they have a larger budget. And even though they have a larger budget and they're ready to go, they still only scored a 76. I wonder why. I made a really tough point system, obviously, so I'm going to have to spend more time with that, but you get the point. No pun intended. So let's see if the tag worked, and it looks like it did. Down here, we have a 200 or 201. And then let's go back to the Google Sheets, and it looks like Ace Ventura is now in the hot pipeline. And let's triple check this by going to our GHL account, going to contacts, and then we have here Ace Ventura, and then they're tagged with the hot lead tag. So cool. Now it's time to build it. Now, before we build it, you do need a GHL account, obviously. You are going to need a couple of resources. We're going to be needing this website here. It's called marketplace.gohighlevel.com, and you will be needing highlevel.stoplight.io. So just keep those two things in mind, and let's get started. So first, in our new automation, we're going to need a webhook. So why don't we just make a new automation. Scenarios, create a new scenario. So this webhook is just going to be, this is going to be the trigger for this whole automation. And all it really does is just wait for data to be received. So you're going to want to do a custom webhook here. And then we're going to create a new one. Save. And then you're going to copy this URL. And you're going to need to input it somewhere in GoHighLevel. And in this case, because GoHighLevel does have some automation features with it, you can find the webhook triggers within their automation page. And then you're going to do start from scratch. Now you can integrate your Facebook lead form directly to Make, but I think this demo, I think the value here is that you can also save your contacts into your CRM. So even if you do use Facebook leads, you can connect that to GoHighLevel and then connect that to make.com. But anyway, so we're going to add a new trigger. It's going to be the form submitted. And then we're going to call this workflow trigger webhook form. Save it, add filters. The form is, and then it's this form, the Upwork GHL demo. I also did this demo for Upwork, but it was a lot shorter and not as in-depth. So we click Webhook. And for the webhook, it's going to be a get method. And that's where you paste your URL that you got from make.com. You press save. And then you hit publish, and then you press save. And then I'm going to name this YouTube demo lead filter. Cool. So that's all good. Let me go back to our make automation and make sure that it is working. And let me see if I can run this. No bundles were generated, huh? Wonder why. Why does it say that? What is a trigger? All right, well, hold on. Before we do that, let us get the HTTP module. So this part is going to take about 10 minutes or so. But to integrate GoHighLevel, we're going to want to select a make an OAuth 2.0 request. And I'm going to add a new connection just for the sake of this demonstration. And you're going to want to keep the flow type authorization code. And so this is where we're going to need the other resources. You're going to want to go here to highlevel.stoplight.io. And these are all the endpoints for URL's API, or excuse me, for GoHighLevel's API or integrations. And you're going to go up here to authorization. And for the URI, the auth URI, you're just going to want to copy either one of these. I like to do the white label auth URL flow. So you're just going to copy right before the question mark. You're going to go back here. And then for the token URI, you're going to go up here to OAuth 2.0. Get access token. So OAuth 2.0 get access token. And then you're going to copy this one. Be sure that there's no spaces in your URI. Now we're going to need to add our scope, our client ID, and our client secret. So what you're going to do is go to marketplace.gohighlevel.com, and this is where we're going to get our client ID and our client secret. So what you do is you create an account. I already have mine here, so go ahead and pause the video, make yours first. Then you're going to create an app. I'm going to do one for YouTube. And it's going to be private. And then you're going to want to click, if obviously you're probably the agency as well, just click both. It's just easier that way. I mean, I find it to be a lot easier that way because then it'll give you access to all your sub accounts. And then you just create app. Cool, success. You don't really have to worry about filling in all the basic informations. All you really need is your auth. So you go down to auth, and you're going to hit select scopes. Okay, so you're going to add forms.readOnly. You're also going to add locations/tags.write because we will be accessing the tags, and then we will be editing them or attaching them to new contacts. And you also need to add locations/tags.readOnly. So just want to clear that up. Here's what they look like. And then you can continue watching the video. Thanks for watching. So the redirect URL, this is super, super key here. It's going to be http://www.integromat.com/ let me see, what is it? I always forget. Here it is. So it's integromat.com/OAuth/CB/OAuth2. Shit. Wow, I already forgot. OAuth/CB/OAuth2. Let me triple check that. You want to make sure that that's correct, or else you're going to get a lot of 400 errors. OAuth/CB/OAuth2. Cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to add that and then hit the check mark. Just kidding. You have to save it first. That's fine. We're going to save this. So we selected our scopes. It's forms.readOnly. We selected our URL, redirect URL. We're going to make sure you click that checkbox. And then here's where we generate our client keys and secret. So we're going to do YouTube demo. And then make sure to copy this, save it somewhere because they're only going to show it to you once. So I'm going to copy my client ID. Copy my client secret. Perfect. And then the last thing I almost forgot, hopefully you didn't, was your scopes. Be sure to include your locations/tags.readOnly and .write. So then what I'm going to do is hit save. And then it's going to prompt me to log into GHL. All right, so we're integrated with GoHighLevel. Now what you're going to do from here is all we're going to need is to refer to is this highlevel.stoplight.io. And so like I said, right here is going to have all the endpoints. And we're going to scroll down to forms because that's what we're looking to grab. And if we find where is it? Oh, here we go. Get submission. So the URL, you can find it up top, but that's not the complete URL. We're going to be needing to add our location ID. So we're going to come back here, copy the example, take out the location ID of the example, put in our location ID, which you can find in the URL of your GoHighLevel account. There you go. And then it's going to be a get method. And the headers you're going to want to add are your authorize. I believe it's also accept. And what else? Authorize. Oh, it's authorization. Oh, and version. So maybe not accept. That's fine. Authorization and then version. I'm just gonna be that. Okay, so your authorization. Your authorization, you are going to find that in your GoHighLevel account. The other tutorials on YouTube, generate an access token, I was unable to do so. So the workaround for this, and I think the more recent, actually the preferred method for GoHighLevel, like as in they want you to use their private integration, is just going to GoHighLevel, going to settings, and then down here below integration is called private integrations. It's like their way of using an API key. You can see that I've done a couple here. So let me create a new one. It's going to be YouTube demo. And then again, you're going to add the same scopes that you're going to want to use. In this case, it'll be view forms. I'm going to hit create and then copy that, save it somewhere because they're not going to show it to you again. And we're going to hit bearer and then paste the private integration key there after the space, after bearer. And then that is, oh, body type. Okay, so the queries we're going to add are specific to however you want to filter your forms. So in this case, we have an end at, form ID, and limit. So we're going to do end at form ID. I'm going to ignore the limit. I don't really think that's necessary. I'm going to ignore page as well. You can filter it by contact ID, name, email, but that's not necessary for this automation. And then you can put start at. I'm going to include that. Start at. And then I'm also going to grab the location ID. That's important. Cool. So once again, your form ID, similar to the location ID, is going to be in the URL of the form. Let me copy that. And then end at, this is where we're going to grab any forms. It's going to grab any data before this date, essentially. So we'll do 2024-12-12, and then start at anything that started this month. So 2024-1-12-1. And then the location ID, we can just grab it from up here. Hope you're following me so far. I really think the hardest part of this whole automation is really just the GoHighLevel integration. I mean, it was a pain for me just because so many little things have to be right. But in the end, once you get it up and running, there really shouldn't be any problems. So once again, I'm going to run this automation. So there seems to be something wrong with this. Verify for execution. Okay. So for some reason, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to our workflow. And I think I have it here, YouTube demo. Oh, you know why? So I have another webhook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft this workflow because we don't need that webhook. And this one seems to be running too. So that's another webhook. So I had 3 webhooks that are all getting data from the same form. And I believe that might have been the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause all of them. This is the one that we're going to need. And let me just triple check that this is right. So form submitted, webhook form is Upwork GHL. We're going to save. And then we're going to get a get method. That is our proper webhook. Save the action. Perfect. So now let me test it. I wonder why that's happening. Interesting. 1 second. I don't know why this is giving me a problem. Copy this address. Save. It should be the same. So what I'm going to do is testing e-commerce. Oh, and I think what I need to do as well is I need to turn off the other automations. I think this is on. Cool, so that's off. I think all the automations are off. Let's go back here, main challenge leads. No, marketing budget, yeah. Let's try it out. Cool. Cool, got it. And I just use existing data. So let me go down here, see what's going on. So I think we do need the limits query. What else do we need? Let me just download the output bundle and see what the problem is. Okay, so I do need to include the limit. So why don't I just add that? And then I'll put limit. And then I think an appropriate limit is 20. Yeah. So I'll just do 20. And I'm going to run it. Okay, so the webhook is working. It's waiting for new data. Let me just test the new data. Yes. No. Yes. Cool. Let me go back here. Success. All right, cool. We have a 200 code. And as you can see, we have all the data here that needs to be parsed. Let me fix that. So all we're just going to do is hit yes, press OK, and then let's just run this module. I guess, yeah, so we know our webhook works. So we can just run the HTTP module, and then what it's going to do is it's going to grab the most recent form. It's not going to grab, actually, that's untrue. These are all the forms. So those are all the forms, but because this automation will be getting triggered by fresh data, and the most recent form is the first one, we'll only need to map the first form within that bundle. Yeah, because I just put that in. So just some heads up there. Cool. So now after that, what did we do? I believe we updated a Google Sheet. We set the values. Okay, cool. So why don't we go here? And then we're going to go to set multiple variables. And we're just going to add all the important variables. So for you, it might be, or it should be, different. And one of them will be contact ID. We're going to need that because that's how we'll know what contact to tag. So we're going to put contact ID. Another one's going to be their name. And then the next one is going to be their, let's see, budget. So one thing to keep in mind is, as you can see here, the make automation, or rather GoHighLevel's IDs for your questions are just a string of letters and numbers. So the only reason I'm able to determine what's what is based off the answers. And we'll do previous solutions. Put that there. So be sure you're mapping that properly. So we have contact ID, name, budget, previous solutions, and then ready. And then put that there. Perfect. And then after that, we're going to have our Google Sheet, and we're going to update row. And this is going to put everybody together, or each lead into the Google Sheet nice and organized. It's just sheet 1. Row number will be, how did I have that? I'm wrong. It's actually ChatGPT. So why don't we just copy this, put it in here. There we go. So you're going to want to make sure you have a ChatGPT API account, or rather OpenAI account, connect your OpenAI account. And then we are going to choose, I chose ChatGPT or GPT-01. excuse me, 4.0. I'm a liar. And this is the bread and butter. This is what's going to make or break the whole automation. Not true. This is actually just what makes this automation a step above, just filtering out leads through traditional parameters or traditional formulas. You have AI. So this is the system prompt. You can just copy it here. It says you are an intelligent lead qualification expert and business consultant. Analyze leads based on form data and calculate their score using these criteria. This is super important that you guys refine whatever lead criteria or whatever like point system you're going to have for your business or your project. Super, super important. Take a lot of time with this, because if this isn't right, then it's just going to categorize your leads improperly. I did mention, like, within the first couple minutes of this video, the ready status, or how soon they are to move forward. That should have a lot of value, because that's someone that it's ready to give their money to you and just move forward regardless of the budget. Obviously, if you only accept people, if there's a threshold to your business, then you're going to want to put more value on that threshold as well, and all of those variables. So go ahead and you can take a look at mine for reference, and then you'll just use your AI to refine it. And then at the bottom, what we do is we tell them, first calculate the total score, then provide a 2 to 3 sentence analysis, including the score and priority level. Now, the response is crucial. We want them to respond in JSON. Now, I did read somewhere, probably like a Reddit thread, that ChatGPT offers a setting where you can just turn on JSON response. Haven't tried it, but look into it. I'm pretty sure it's real. Otherwise, what I did was I just wrote return only a valid JSON object with exactly this structure and no extra characters outside of the curly brackets. Right? So not only did I give ChatGPT a system prompt, but I also put in a user prompt with an example input and example output. So here's that. And then lastly, we have our prompt, which is pretty much just filling out, mapping all the variables. So we don't even need, what's interesting is before I had included the business type and main challenge, but that's not even a factor in their lead score. It probably should be. So definitely do that. But in this case, all it is going to be their name, their budget, previous solutions, and if they're ready. So we'll do a budget, ready, and then previous solutions. Perfect. Press OK. And then next, I believe we're going to parse the data with JSON, parse JSON. Perfect. And then the JSON string is going to be come on, where is it? Message. Is it content? Is it choices content? I believe so. Choices text, maybe? Huh. No, it's the result. But we don't have a result, do we? Would it just be this? Cool. Why don't we run it? Okay, hold on. There we go. And looks good. Perfect. So the JSON string is there. Parse the JSON. Now what we're going to do is perfect. So now this is where we put in our Google Sheets. As you can see, this was what ChatGPT spit out, exactly how we wanted it. Lead score, priority level, and then AI analysis. Oops. Cool. Now we have our Google Sheet, and then what do we have? I'm pretty sure it's just row one. You just update a row, or it's add a row. Excuse me. Not update a row. We're gonna add a row. So you're gonna want to click your project. Sheet one. Table does contain headers. And now we have the values. So if I go to it's let me see, it's name, budget, ready, lead score, priority level. So we go back here. It's name. That's probably why I did that. Budget. Do the lead score, priority level, and then AI analysis. And then we're ready here. So lead status here is going to be, where's the lead status? Lead score, priority level. Oh yeah, and then we're gonna update the lead status not in pipeline because it's not in pipeline yet. And then the contact ID is going to come from the set multiple variables module. Press OK. Perfect. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to add a sleep. The reason why is because rows needs a second to refresh or update. So I put a 5-second sleep there. And then after that, I did a search rows, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check. No shame. Let me see. Sleep. Oh, and then it was a router. Yeah. So sleep, and then it's a router. So the reason why we're using a router is because depending on if it's a cold, warm, or hot lead, we're going to be filtering each one, and it's going to go through a specific branch. All these branches are going to be identical. All it's going to do is just label them accordingly. So what I'm going to do here is actually just copy this. Oops. Perfect. And I'm going to paste it. Paste it. So we have the hot on top, warm on the bottom, and cold, or excuse me, warm in the middle and then cold at the bottom. These are all the same. Let me auto align. Now, how do we ensure that the proper lead goes through the right branch? These filters right here in the router. So notice how I already kind of have it set up. All I have to do is map it properly. So what you're going to do is you put a label or a title. The condition is going to be based off the lead score. So in my case, and this is going to be different for you, the condition will be lead score. That's how I'm judging this. You can just grab the lead score from the parse JSON module. Right. And then because it's going to be a hot lead, for me, what I did was it's going to be a hot lead if it's 70, the lead score is 75 or higher. And so then you can see we have a filter. We can choose, it's going to be a numeric operator filter. And then you put greater than or equal to. So in my case, 75, press OK. And then this one's going to be warm. And then that would be if the lead score. Oh, I guess what you can do is you can even do a text operator as well. Because see how if you see here, I have a priority level and it just assesses it by if it's warm or not. That's probably easier. You could do that, but you might be dealing with numbers. So I'm just going to use numbers. That's what I did already. So if it is greater than or equal to, I believe it was 51. And then we're going to add another rule. And if it's less than or equal to, and then if it's less than or equal to 74. So this will be a warm lead, right? Perfect. And then on the last one, it'll be cold. And then let's do this. I'll put the priority level instead. So now this is text. So we'll put text operators is equal to, and then we could just put cold there. And bam. We have the filters. Now we just have to fix everything else. So we're going to tag the right filter. This should be our hot lead. I have the Google Sheet connected. And if you can see here, what I can do is the lead score. You know what? I'll do the priority level instead, make it a lot easier. So the priority level, I mean, it's already calculated, right? Why make my life harder by putting like a less than equal to, and I can just do priority level E, and then it'll be a text operator is equal to hot. Would it be hot lead? Yeah, it'll be hot. And it's actually, in my case, it's case sensitive, capital T. So, and then the lead status is not in pipeline. You want to make sure that it's only being updated if it's not in the pipeline. Perfect. And let me fix this one because it looks like, cool. So we're going to tag this one, and this one would be warm. So priority level, and then it'll be a text operator equal to warm. And then the lead status is not in pipeline. That's important. And so we're going to find that row. And then lastly here would be cold. Priority level is cold. Lead status not in pipeline. Perfect. Bam. Sleep 5 seconds. And then connect your GHL one more time. Because you already have it added, you should be able to connect pretty seamlessly. And this is the URL endpoint. You can find it back into our highlevel.stop.io, and it would be down here. Ladies and gentlemen. Hey guys, if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you. And this is the part where I forgot about the tag scopes, but I did edit that in earlier on in the video. So if you see in the HTTP module, we have our URL. You can find this endpoint in the stoplight.io docs here. So you would just go down to tags and then it would be update tag, right? I had it as a post request, if I'm not mistaken, even though it says put. So the post request worked fine for me. I mean, I guess you could put, you have a put method option there, but that's where you find the URL. You simply just map the contact ID from the Google search, or excuse me, from the Google sheet. And the contact ID should be added back in the add a row module. We did map that there earlier. And then let me see if I'm missing anything else. The headers are going to be accept, application /JSON, authorization with your private integration from GoHighLevel. And like I had mentioned earlier on in the video, your key from GoHighLevel is going to be essentially your API key, and make sure you add the tag scopes in there. Thankfully, you can edit it back without having to generate a new key. So it's going to be authorization, and then it's bearer space bearer space your key. Content type is application /JSON, and then it's version 2021-07-28 at the time of this recording. And this is what your JSON would look like when adding a lead or updating the tag, excuse me. It would be open curly bracket tags, colon, and then hot lead, right? And then you just do the same for the other modules. Maybe you do, maybe you have a different tag, it could be whatever it is, but make sure it's formatted this way. Press OK, and that's about it. And then just do the same here, except this time it'll be warm lead. And then here will be cold. Perfect. And all you got to do from there is change their lead status from hot to warm or cold. That's okay. And it's going to be update a row. And all you're going to do is just map the row from the previous search rows module. And that's it. You're all done. So why don't we run this, make sure this bad boy is working. This is going to be the proper one. I'm going to save this real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the webhook to it. Perfect. And then I'm going to fill out the form. That's not it. Where's the form? Ah, here it is. Let me just refresh it just in case. Okay. So finished results. And then I'm going to put this in the hot pipeline. So what I'll do is, I'll say that they're ready to go and they got a high budget. That'll make them hot for sure. Bam. Scenario should be running. Damn it. Sorry. Now it's running. Let me do that again. Okay. Hottest lead around. No leads. No. Big budget, payment ready. Bam. There we go. Looking good. So if all is well, yep, they got filtered into the top branch. And why don't we go up here? We can see that they're right there. Still a 76 score. They're ready to go and they have the highest budget possible and they only got a 76 score. See, I got to refine my, my point assessment some more, but yep, that's pretty much it. And then we can see down here, we have a 201, the hot lead tag was added down here. So that's the automation. Hope you guys find it super valuable. Thank you for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.